All right guys, really excited about today. Today we are going to be putting in our beds. So basically I thought about it, and there's a lot of compact soil beneath this topsoil, and so I gotta take a broad fork to it. Well, I'm not gonna broad fork this whole thing. This is a lot of broad forking, and I don't have a tiller deep enough or strong enough to get in there, so broad fork is the ideal tool to use here. I don't have one yet, so I'm using a digging fork. And so obviously I don't want to be in here all day using that digging fork. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to prepare our beds. So 18-inch rows, 30-inch bed size, and I'm only going to dig fork or broad fork, whatever you want to call it. I'm only going to do the 30-inch beds. That'll save me a lot of time and energy, and because I don't need to be doing the walkways. And so I'm going to go ahead and lay out our beds, mark them off, and then we will start preparing them. So the first thing I did was measure off 18 inches from the edge of where our garden plot is going to stop, just so that when the grass grows up, it's not growing into the actual bed. So we're going to have a little walkway right here, even though we won't really need it. We're not going to utilize it. Thank you, Lightning. This is our cat, Lightning, and he is deciding to roll in our garden. There he goes. Anyway, so marking off our rows here. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing, I did 18 inches from the side here. That's our walkway. So I marked off our row here. You're gonna do 30 inches and just taking some rebar. Whatever you have is fine. Getting on that 30-inch mark. And we're just hammering down. Getting something that's solid enough, and we're gonna take some nylon string and string these off. All right, so we string those off. The reason we do that is it's you don't have to do this. It's just way easier when you're creating raised beds. Now, if you weren't doing a raised bed system, this wouldn't be necessary, obviously. You just kind of eye it out. This makes it much easier. Typically what someone would do when they're making a raised bed system is they would have a like a rotary plow, and it would toss the dirt that's in the rows up on top of the raised bed. We don't have a rotary plow right now, so what we're doing is I'm just going to go through with a shovel, hard manual labor, and just toss the dirt onto the raised bed area. All right, so here's what I'm doing. It's a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I'm assuming most of this will be as I'm learning. But basically, the soil is a little bit hard, so I still have to kind of dig into the soil a little bit, so I'm not going to get away with not being able to, or just being able to fork the beds. I'm gonna have to fork these walkways too. So basically what I'm doing, as you can see here, I'm digging a trench. This is the row, and as you dig the trench, you throw the soil back up onto the where the bed area is going to be, right here. So okay, Lightning, thank you. These are not your beds. So anyway, so the ground is still a little hard in these areas, so I'm taking the shovel and I'm just kind of trenching out this area a little bit, loosening up the soil, and then I'm tossing it onto the bed. So it's gonna work. It's just gonna take way longer than equipment would. So here we go. All right, so got the first row done here, and afterwards I realized how much work it's gonna take just to raise these beds. So I did what I said, came back and tilled the walkway, and it just took way too long. So anyway, I am doing a new strategy here. I am I am marking out the walkways and the rows with these strings, and then I'm coming back through in the walkways as they go from one edge of one bed to the other edge of the other bed, and I'm hoeing the walkway. It seems to be way easier. I'm not going to use a tiller on these walkways, and as the season goes along, they don't need to be that deep, because as the season goes along, we're going to be walking through the walkways, obviously, and so it'll depress the soil enough to where we're having defined rows, and so they're going to be semi-raised beds, not fully raised beds, until we get that rotary plow and have some extra equipment in here to do this. So that's what I'm going to continue to do here. All right, this is day 2 of preparing the raised beds, and I have figured out a pretty good system. Here's what I'm doing. So this is how you would prepare raised beds without a BCS, without a rotary hoe, rotary plow. If you don't have those things, this is the way to do it. So what I'm doing is, the strings behind me, as you can see, I'm measuring obviously 30 inches for my beds and 18 inches for our rows. And so right now behind me, I've measured 18 inches for the row. And so I take the tiller is about 16 inches wide in the rear, and so that tiller is kind of perfect for what we're doing. But most smaller tillers are going to be that size in the rear. So I'll take the tiller, run it down in between the 2 lines, so I know I'm getting straight lines. And then I come back with the hoe, and I hoe the dirt back towards me onto the soon-to-be bed behind me. And then I come back, move the line over to my 30-inch mark, and then I till the soil that I've just pushed over. I till it in. And then I come back with a garden rake or bed rake, whatever you want to call it, and I level out the bed. And that seems to be working pretty good. I mean, it's slow. It's way slower than a BCS would be, or having the right kind of heavy equipment for this. But if you don't have it, it's definitely doable, and you can get some nice beds. I'll show you. It takes some time, but in the end, I think it's going to really pay off for a couple of reasons. One is for drainage. When we get a lot of heavy rain, it's not washing out crops, that type of stuff. The other is we have really defined rows, and so people that are coming in to help, that are harvesting, whatever it is, they know where they're supposed to step. And if you're planting, there's a really good defined area of where you have planted your crops, so you're not stepping on stuff. And so it's a really organized way to grow crops. So I think this is going to work out great. It's a lot of hard work, but in the end, I think it's really going to pay off. All right, guys, we got an awesome video planned today. We are going to be hoeing in the garden, and I'm not doing it by myself this time. I got a crew of helpers with me, and I'm super excited about it. So let me introduce you to the crew. And here they are. Mr. Keith, say hi.
Hey there.
Miss Holly. Isaiah. Rachel. Say hi.
Wave. Hi.
And then my 2 helpers on the end there, doing something, playing with a kitty cat.
Many hands make light work.
That's right. Holly said many hands make life what?
Light work.
Light work. Many hands make light work. So as much as I was busting my butt out here by myself the other day, thinking, man, I just need to go and get that piece of heavy equipment. Well, here's my heavy equipment, folks, right behind me. So we're gonna hoe up some rows. We're gonna try to get all of the rows done today. I think that's a little too hopeful, but we're gonna be hopeful, and we're gonna see where we get today. So we'll see. All right, y'all got to see this. We got our neighbors gave us a new cat, and the girls had something exciting they wanted to show me. So check this out. What'd y'all do, girls? Are y'all being nice and sweet to the kitty cat?
Yeah.
Do you think the cat is happy?
Yeah. She is.
You think that cat's happy?
Yeah. Cat's belly and her back.
Hmm.
She's so cozy. That's why we're getting her away from cats.
She's so cozy?
Yeah. We're burying her. I like her name.
All right, so our beds are officially done. Well, not fully done. Half of them are done. So let me show you what we did. So we ended up splitting the beds into the 100-foot beds into 50-foot sections, just to manage the crop rotation, that type of stuff. And since we only did half of the plot so far, it's going to allow us to be selective on which crop goes where. So and it also allows for quick access to the garden. So we got a walkway here, and that allowed room to run our irrigation line. It was a lot. So doing the beds was a lot of work. Without the BCS, the tractor, we put in a lot of hard work. And as you saw from the day that all of the Goshen team came over, I had a lot of help, and that was that enabled me to get it done. So thank you, Goshen team. Bless the Goshen team for helping and getting this garden done. So that's it, guys, on the raised beds. Next, we're going to do bed prep. We're going to broad fork. We're going to put the compost on top, and then we're going to seed. And so, thanks for watching this, guys. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to our channel to get future updates, and I will see you guys later.